Great, but hello everyone. So welcome to the first and long series of webinar. So this month's format, this is a monthly format to present our latest innovation and answer your questions. So on today's agenda, Marielle will talk about our authoring tool that allows you to create and design your e-learning courses in great details. And then after, Gabor will present various features, library, payments, support, and more. And finally, we will conclude this first webinar with a series of a question and answer session, a Q&A. So thank you. Enjoy the webinar and give the hand to Marielle now. Thank you, Marielle.
Yes, thank you very much. So from my point, it will just be a quick 5-minute update on the authoring tool, just because we've done a lot of updates. We've rolled out new features, and I thought it just made sense to give you guys all a quick overview of what we've done. So I'll share my screen. Let me know if everyone can see it.
Yes.
Yeah. Great. So we already had the ability in our authoring tool to grant slides, to have interactions like flip cards. And, you know, this is something we already had in place to allow backgrounds, video, questions, things like this. We have, however, added a few new features now. So these are, you know, the slides the way they were looking now thus far. And what we've done is we've basically maintained all the features we already had in terms of layout, in terms of backgrounds, and let's say brandability and interaction as well. So with these flip cards, what we've done, however, is we've gone and kind of upgraded to include some additional features. So one of the things you'll notice is you have animation now. So when you load a slide, there's animation of the different elements. You can also now more freely create elements next to each other and underneath each other, which means that you can do long format pages. You can have video, podcast, text in any kind of sequence that you'd like. So whether you want to combine it all on one page or whether you want to have it on separate slides, you can really build it as you like. Here, another example of like the animation as well with the flip cards. So you can really make sure that the elements move just how you want. And yeah, we just feel like this gives you even more freedom when it comes to branding up the slides. Of course, we've kept all the old features. So all the hotspot pop-ups and things like that are still there. But yeah, it just gives you more freedom in terms of animating and also embedding. So here you can see, for example, we've actually embedded our web page here. And it just gives you a lot of freedom then in terms of what you're trying to build in terms of, yeah, the learning experience. And so the way that looks in the back end, when you go to create a slide, instead of having just this standard set of text, image, or text and image. Now in the slide builder, you can of course pick your templates, which we're currently still expanding on. But in addition to then the templates, you can really add either full sections. So when you add a full section, you can really add a text and video block, or you can add, for example, a text and audio layout that you can choose from. But what you can do in addition to that is also within a layout, actually add little elements instead. So where you say, I just want to add a video, or I just want to add a podcast, which means that when you have, for example, a title like this, you can say, I want there to be a hotspot just above it, or actually I want there to be an audio here just underneath. So as you can see, you can really then also have the 2-column build, and you can really do create layouts as long as you want. So also with these longer format pages, or just slide by slide as we had it originally. So I thought this was a really exciting update. So I just quickly wanted to share that with you guys. I know Gabor has a lot of other updates to share with you as well. So I won't keep you too long, but that was just a quick update from my side on the authoring tool.
Thank you very much, Marielle. And Gabor, so you can take the screen over.
Yeah, I will make you host now, Gabor.
Right, thank you.
Yes, you should be host.
Perfect. So let me start to share the screen. All right. There we go. just moving things around a bit. Space. Great. So thank you for coming. We always thought that this is going to be a great initiative to give you some insights of the new features that we are rolling out. So as Pascal said, we'll have this meeting once a month, and we will review what we rolled out in the past month. Sometimes we will also talk about upcoming features, maybe share some ideas with you that we are currently working on. Maybe they are UX or UI phase, but we are always very interested on new opinions as well on coming features. I will stop for a short Q&A session after each feature. If you have questions, we can freshly talk about them. And of course, after all the features, if you have still questions, we can discuss that as well. I will show a little bit the front end and the back end. So for those who are maybe watching this recorded video, we have a front end for end users, and we have a backend for administrators. I'm going to switch back and forth to show a few things. We are not going to go too deep, so it's not going to be a tutorial how to set things up. I will maybe show very basic things just to have a better understanding where you're looking for a feature or where you have to set it. But it's more like a general overview about what we already implemented, given a feature, what we are thinking that we are planning to implement, and then maybe you have more ideas. So we are really looking for it. When you are an administrator, you can also be notified about changes immediately as we roll out. So in the header, we have this changelog section where you will see the date, the version number, and a bit of description about the features that are being rolled out. So you see some rolled out like a week ago, and then 2 weeks ago, and so on. So you always have maybe a small picture, sometimes a link where you can get the settings. So it's almost the same thing that we're going to talk about. This is kind of immediate. We have our rollouts of new features every Monday at noon. So that's when, or let's say in the afternoon, Monday afternoon, if you check the changelog, you will see what are the updates. If you have any questions, we are happy to answer. And as we are here in the header, please remember that there is a, let me go to another section. So there is a help section where you can also find answers, and you can raise a ticket just right from here. So if you want to reach our customer support, if you have a bug on the application or the admin, you have like a new idea, or you just need general help, that's the best way to do it, because the team is behind it working hours, and then they can immediately answer. If you send an email to the key account manager, that's also very fine. But sometimes, especially if something is very critical or urgent for you, surely the team behind the customer support will answer more immediately. So let's get to the first feature in the list. As Pascal said, and as we can see also in the changelog, let's talk about payment discounts. But I'm not only going to talk about discounts feature, but we also added a few other features around the payment. However, let's see the discounts first. So before, the only possibility to set a discount for a paid course, because on our platform currently, the courses which can be paid, by the way, this is how it looks. So as soon as something is paid, you will have an indication of it, like it's 100 Swiss franc in this case. And it's possible to set up with Stripe. Stripe is the main platform that we are currently supporting. We are analyzing other solutions as well. And if there is a demand, we are going to implement other providers as well. For example, we are discussing about Ideal or other providers at the moment. But with Stripe, you can create discount sort of coupon codes. So in the past, the only possibility was that you manually go to Stripe, You generate coupon codes, you hand out an email, or you inform your users one way or the other, but it's a little bit cumbersome. It still works. It can be done. If you want to use that under settings, payment, there is a coupons enabled section like on or off, and this will allow entering coupon codes when it comes to payment. However, now we implemented a more sophisticated way of handling discounts. So there are different possibilities. The first possibility is to give everyone a specific discount to all paid content on the platform. This can be achieved by going to the audiences, and when you create a new audience, sorry, not edit, but create a new one, you could say like 40% discount, and for all of the audiences, you have discount settings now. There are two kind of discounting possibilities. One is the fixed amount and the other one is the percentage. So we could say 40% for everyone, for all the courses, all the paid courses on the platform, if someone is part of this 40% discount audience. We're not going to go how you can assign someone to an audience. That's another topic. But to create an audience who has a discount, it's happening like this. But this is giving everyone in this audience a discount to all of the paid content. There might be use cases when you say, I don't want to give to all paid content a discount, but only to a specific course. So when we added the course, we have the paid setting, the payment settings, where you can set the price. And here you can see you can start adding discounts. It works in the same logic. You can select an audience. Let's say Antwerp Club is going to get a 25% discount. Admins are getting a 50% discount. And you can add basically any number of audiences, or let's say everyone is getting now a fixed amount of 10 Swiss franc discount. So you can really combine up to your preference. In case someone is entitled to multiple discounts on our platform, the system will select the best they can get. All right, so this is for the discounts. And of course, if someone is part of a discounted group, let me add myself to, let's say, to the group with 40% discount. Then how it will look for the end users. When they hover the paid content icon, you see it says, this is a paid content for 100 Swiss franc. After applying the discount, the price will be 60 for you because I got 40%. And when clicking on the course, of course, we land on the paywall, in this case, Stripe. And you will also see the total price and your discount and the discounted price. Okay. So the two small features when it comes to payment that we also rolled out is an additional filter here in the search filters, which is about, can be found in the user progress, which says paid for content. So again, now you can select the paid contents and you can see who has paid for a specific one. So that helps to see who already paid. Of course, there is also another way to see payment activities is, of course, the audit log. So in the audit log, we also have an activity type paid for content. Well, no one paid on this platform, but it would show all the events when someone paid. So you can really check if someone has a problem or just you want to review when people were paying for content. That's the way to do. And we have a new feature called expiring payments, because before, if a user paid, or by default, if someone is paying for content, they have an access forever. So again, under the settings, you can set the access period. So you could say 30 days, meaning after payment for 30 days, this payment will be valid, and after the visitor has to pay again. Right, so these are the new features around payment. Let me know if you have a question, and we can get there. Otherwise, we will check the next topic.
I have a question. If I set for Antwerp Club a 25% discount, and I get the instruction that in the end of the day it's not going to be 25 but 30%, do I need to recreate a new discount and delete the current one, or I need to edit the one I created?
You can edit the one you created. Of course, those learners who already paid are not going to be affected. They already paid, they get the initial discount, but anyone who's paying after will pay the new one.
Okay.
Of course, it can be changed anytime.
Okay, good. And when you set up an access period of 30 days and is handing, do they get a notification, or they just see that they don't have access anymore?
Good question. At the moment, we are not sending out too many email notifications from the platform. There are a few for manual assessment and so on, but we are improving the notification system, and then we are going to add a lot of notification emails that can be customizable. And of course, from the user's perspective as well, they can select which notification emails they want to receive by law, legally speaking. For the moment, there is no email sent out.
It's true as well that too many notifications can become that can be seen as a spam if it's too much. We need to manage carefully this notification system. Yeah, thank you.
Right.
Gabor, I got a question. If the paid course is expired, do you still have access to your certificate?
Yes, the certificate is still accessed in your profile for that, for sure. Everything that you already achieved, already got leaderboard points and so on, you get them. You just can't go back to the content. Okay. But if you pay again, the system will keep your progress, obviously.
Oh, thanks.
Okay. So in this case, let's go to the second topic, which is about our library. So we made some updates to the library. Still, a lot of other updates are going to arrive. This is just the first step. Before, the library had a one-level category system, which was listed on the left side. Now we kind of migrated it to a folder system. So you can add as many folders you want, and actually even folders inside folders. For the moment, we support maximum to 5 levels, which we think should be sufficient for most of the use cases. And in the future, we will review that. As you can see, even for the folders, you can define a color you want, or you can upload an image. If we go on the admin and create a folder, you see there are the standard brand colors that you have on the platform. You can also select a custom color, and for the image upload, we have the standard ways of uploading one from the computer or using the stock library. So this is how it looks. Of course, we are still supporting all the formats that we had before, and we have 2 layouts: list layout and the thumbnail layout. So this is just the first step. We have a lot of ideas how to improve this, for sure. One coming feature is going to be tags support, which means you will be able to add tags to folders and files as well. You might be familiar with tags when you're creating content, But there is a difference. Those are technical tags for administrators to be able to organize content and so on. But we are going to start to release a kind of a public tagging system, starting with the library, but after we will go on for the other content as well. And in the search of the library, you will be able to search for these tags. And also maybe we will have like a tag cloud on the side, because this sidebar we will use for additional widgets. At the moment, you only have the folder tree you can open and close, but there is more space. There's space for more widgets, of course, this side. So that's also a place where we will put these tags, which will help also, you know, like categorization or additional way of finding items on the platform. Of course, the search feature is at the moment not here. We used to have a search feature in the library, which was not super powerful. So we are working now on a more powerful search feature, which will eventually look into file content as well if it is required. It will, of course, look for tags, will look for the titles and so on. So at the moment, you can still use the search to look for library items, but there will be like a dedicated search also for the library section. We are going to roll out a favorite feature, maybe to set some folders or files as favorite because you access them frequently and so on. And all these favorites will be also shown in the sidebar. Or maybe the latest updated documents. We are looking for ideas also from your side, what additional features you can imagine for the library. And just one more very interesting coming feature is, well, the name is to be defined still, but it's a kind of an asset library for administrators. So what does it mean? It's very interesting. When you are producing content, and wherever you have a browse button, currently the default function is to upload the file. Sometimes when it is a video, you have the possibility to record your screen or record your camera. If you turn on, you have also the possibility to look for free stock images. This is not turned on by default. So that's something that can be turned on in settings. It's interesting. If your policy allows to use stock images, it can be turned on for the platform. But this is the same place where we are going to add the button called Select from Library. And basically that is going to open a very similar pop-up as for the stock images. But you can imagine it will open the library folders with also a search. So you can reference, let's call it reference, or select an item from the library. Why this is good? If you have, let's say, a video in a library, you can easily reuse it. And if you need to update it, you just do it once and everywhere it is updated. And you can use the same video in multiple lessons. Same for images, same for documents. So now updating assets will be much more easier. And on top of that, on the admin, you will be able to define a specific folder as hidden from global library. So you can purely have some folders which are only for kind of administrative purposes for your own management. And those folders are not going to be shown for the learners on the front. However, you can have like a folder structure inside and use it only for admins to place their assets there, okay? So that is going to be a very convenient feature, not having to upload everything multiple times and update multiple times. Of course, access management is still the same, just a word on access management when it comes to the library. By default, anything that you upload is public to everyone who is joining or logging into the platform. When you edit, you can select which content you kind of attach a file to, and the system will automatically detect if you have access to the content, then you have access to the file as well. So you don't have to deal with audiences on the file level. The system will automatically like manage all the audiences and the access of the different files. You also don't have to set reference for folders, because the files below will define the visibility of the folder. If a folder is empty, it's not going to be shown for a user. If it has some files inside, but the current learner user doesn't have access to any of those files, it will also be hidden. So we are trying to automatize all of these in order not having to do much manual work. Okay, so this is basically the current improvement about the library. Even UX-wise, we have a UX team who is working on the improvement even more for the library, and visually speaking, UI-wise as well. So we will have these feature improvements, but we also have some UI ideas how to make this even more intuitive. So do you have any questions coming with the library?
Thank you, Gabor. That was really interesting. About the library, well, we have, as you know, just started to use it, and we have two things that we on our side think is really urgent to have. It is to have the possibility to give a certain order within a folder, because at the moment it's only possible to choose the order by date or by file name, I think. Yeah, right. But sometimes yeah, we have cases that we don't want to show, I don't know, a technical regulation from this year and then way below, because it's another title, the technical regulation for 25. You know what I mean? Sometimes we want to show two documents, just one next to each other, and then it's really bad if it's not the same name or not the same date, that they are totally not together. So for us, it's really a thing that we ideally, for example, drag and drop, that you can choose the order how you place your your files within a folder. That would be really helpful for us. And yes, the other thing is, it would be really great to have, for example, we have a folder that is for a certain audience, and I don't know, we put meeting documents inside, and then we would like to have a button that allows them to download all files at once. Because yeah, otherwise they would have to go in each file, open it and download it. It would be so much more helpful to download it with one click, download the content of one folder. So these are the two things that we really would appreciate if they come. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for bringing this up. It's a good idea, and actually I did, of course, hear about them already, that you have this need. So we are discussing this with the UX team, because we already analyzed that many of the operating systems don't necessarily allow this drag and drop feature. They all work by name or date. Technically feasible. So we are checking the UX of it, like how it could be done. We were also thinking about maybe keeping the initial order, but highlighting some documents so they are brought to the top or sticked to the top or pinned to the top, despite the ordering, the sorting selected. But that's kind of another approach. So I understand why you mentioned that you want to kind of bind a few documents together, and that's why with drag and drop you could order. So it's a good idea. It's definitely on the plate, and we will see how it is possible to proceed. With the download option, it's of course also great. We have other platforms that we developed where we have such a feature. So technically, again, very feasible. There's only one thing, of course. Well, there are of course many UX aspects always. On the download feature, what we need to bear in mind that if there are a lot of documents, it might take a while to zip them together for any system, just because of the nature of the amount of files. Sometimes, you know, if like a big folder is selected. So usually what we do is that we do this in the background. Maybe we show a progress bar. Maybe we allow the learner to even log out or leave the platform, and we will send an email when the zip is ready. So we are very familiar with such solutions, and it's of course also a great idea. Thank you very much.
Okay, just Gabor, allow me to come back, because I did already get the answer that for this, you know, to have a different order within a file that this is not possible, it's only by date and time. So are you saying that you will still look into it and come back with?
Well, currently it's not possible. It's true, but with technology, it's almost always everything possible. It's just a matter
That's
of
what we thought.
time
Yeah.
and
Okay.
yeah. So it is on the wish list still,
Okay.
and we are still analyzing the possibility.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, at Gabor, and on top of that, uploading multiple files in one go and having them have the same settings. So
Definitely.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Yes. So definitely, that's a great one to drag and drop into a folder. Actually, it's already we already added some kind of drag and drop possibility. Well, I will try to show, like, you can drag a document and say I put it in subfolder B, and from subfolder B I can drag up to one. So yes, we did already this, but of course having multiple ones dragged at the same time is possible. Of course, their name will be their file name by default, and after you can change, but otherwise, yes, for sure.
Okay, cool.
But not only drag, because that means they are already on the platform. Also upload, right?
For sure. By drag and drop, I meant indeed, like from your, like.
It can be from any. Okay, sorry.
From the operating
folder.
system itself, for sure. Okay. Great. So if there are no other questions around the library, then let me show you a very small feature to chill a little bit. It's a support button feature. So in settings, legal, support, you can enable this button and add an email address or a URL. Basically, it's going to display a question icon here, because as per default at the moment, our customer support is only for our clients, for administrators. We do have progress to give end user support also for our customers, but in case it's not requested and you have your own support already, that's the way how you can add an email address, you know, what people can contact, or like another platform. Okay. So we still have time. You might have seen the new card layout. So actually we improved the layout for the courses section. And this is what we call the new card layout. For this, you have a few possibilities. So maybe you have seen these new cards, but you might not be aware of the possibilities. That's why I thought it's good to talk about it for a moment. So under settings, colors, you will find the card colors. And actually there's a color scheme setting. So by default, it can be dark, it can be light, it can be your primary color, which, well, in our case, it's this dark one, but imagine that if the primary color is something like, I'm not going to save it, but let's say red, then of course, you know, it can follow your brand color. And primary color on hover, which means it's white by default, but you will have your brand color when you hover it. So you can experience these, which will look the best for your platform. We are using these card colors for classes and courses. As soon as someone is below, sorry, even for modules. For the last step for lessons and quizzes, we keep it always white. It's for a UX decision. But basically, that's the new card that you will see more and more places. It's already visible on the dashboard, but there are still some widgets which are using, let's say, the old look and feel, and we are about to like upgrade these as well to this new card layout. And of course, you have the list view still that you can use for the classes. And these cards, by the way, very important, we enrich them with information, because I don't know if I will have, but for example, you see, if before a user or visitor did not know if they will be awarded with a certificate, with a badge or points after completing a content. Let me check this walkthrough content, because there is 10 points for it, but let me see if I could add the certificate. Voila. So if a certificate is set, that is also going to be shown. Upon completing this content, you will get this certificate or get an amount of points. And let me see if we have gamification set up to some extent. Yes, we do. Let me try to add this to the walkthrough just to show you how it looks. The Zoom window is always at the wrong place for me. Course, let's see this. No, I added another one. Anyhow, so if there would be badges, then the badge would also be shown. And as you've seen, it's also giving information about payment, not just the price, but also discounts, or if this is already paid, it will tell you when you have paid for it and so on. So we did enrich this card with this information, because it's important that learners know in advance as well, you know, what they can get if they complete something. So this is the new card. Probably heard about the tracking time. This is also a new feature. When we are going on a profile, before we only seen the progress. Now there is an indication here that tracking time spent feature has been released. And now you can also see how much time they actually spent on the different content, which is a great information. We are working on different statistical features, and the time spent is obviously like a key component to see. And one more very interesting information, that you can see these tries, or it says no tries. When this is shown, it is when it comes to quizzes. I will try to check this sales training. If I have it, demo tour. All right, so there is maybe, yes, this one, sales training. So at the moment, the platform says sales training, there are no tries. So we know that the learner didn't even try to take the quiz. And if we make an attempt, then after it will show like how many tries and when. Let me just exit the quiz, which will make me abort it. And I hope I did this quiz. Sales. Sorry, that's another one, but it's a good example anyways, what I want to show. That before it was not possible to see more information here. Now you see, let's say it was 4 times failed by the user, and you can expand it. The 4th time is missing here, but basically you can see the status when the visitor was taking the quiz, what was the duration, what was the result. This statistic is also available on the quiz results from going from the content section. I'm not going to show it now, but basically to have a hands-on information on quizzes, it's now possible from this section as well, which is really great to have everything at hand. All right, so I think we went through the latest versions, the library, payment discount. Yes, we added Portuguese language to the admin side, because the admin is also getting more and more translations. So now it can be switched to Portuguese as well. We talked about support button, content filter, new card layout, and the training time. So I think that's it for today. If you have any more questions, let us know.
Yeah, sorry, Gabor, I'm a total beginner on the platform, so I have some maybe very basic questions. The first one, can I see the passwords of a user?
No. It's a security thing. We will have videos on security, and we can talk about security. But yes, of course, password is one directionally encrypted, so it's not possible to retrieve.
Yeah, I'm just asking because, you know, we have just launched it and now I'm getting some saying I can't log in, help me. So I just wanted to know how I do it.
You can, of course, update the password anytime.
Like that is really because if there was like a malicious, let's say, hacker that would somehow access the file where we have all the passwords and all the users stored, it would be, of course, a huge danger, let's say, to the data and to the users. And so it's really like a best practice. But this is also why it has become really easy for the users to reset their own passwords.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, that's perfectly fine for as an answer.
Is even a GDPR obligation, I guess.
It's a security obligation, and GDPR has a lot of security.
Yeah. Okay. Good. And the second question would be, and that's probably even more basic. When you go, can you go on the Explore button, Gabor?
Yes. So just one more sentence on that. You can send anytime a reset password email.
Perfect.
So
that's good.
You can, of course, update their password if you go to the profile, but you can easily just say, okay, I'll send you a recent, you know, they have the link and they can set their own.
That's what I will do. Super. Thank you. That was helpful. The second thing is when I want to put a picture on one of these, what do I call it, class tabs. So can you go and edit the one you see, the first one? Can you edit it, please?
Sure.
Yeah. And now when you look at the picture, strangely, in my case, I do not see exactly the, you know, you can choose the field that is shown of the picture. For example, you could only show the hand of the woman on the laptop.
Right.
To make it smaller. And in my case, I chose everything of the picture, but it still cuts it. It's really weird. I cannot, so I have half faces and really strange things, and I cannot go and modify. It seems not to
so when the exact dimensions are uploaded, so these might be at the edge, but otherwise we can, of course, have a separate call to have screen sharing with you. We do it many times.
Yes, please. Maybe,
to see because it can be maybe the browser is not supporting this cropping or something. So we can check together.
Yes, please. Yeah, because I chose the full crop, you know, the full image, and it still doesn't show it right. So yeah.
No worries. We can check that. We are happy to help.
Super. Thank you. No more questions from my side.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
So thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you for everyone's time. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Next one. Yeah.
So now it's once a month. We're going, of course, to upload this webinar in our YouTube channel, so you can review, and we will send it back into the newsletter. So thank you, everyone, for being there, and I wish you a good day, and see you soon.